Welcome to the Easton School Committee meeting of Friday, April 12, 2019. There are payments going around to sign. Item 2 on the agenda, vote to approve the 2019 senior letter. Dr. Cabral?
So each year, we bring this before you. It is a letter that we like to send out to our current seniors and their families, just as a kind of reminder of what's happening. It's a very exciting time. We do try to set a particular tone for that time, and so we just repeat some of the information that is important for them to know at this time of year.
So I'll read the letter. It's May 2019. Dear parent and guardian, once again, the close of school is fast approaching. Our current seniors will soon be graduates of Oliver Ames High School. We extend our congratulations and warmest wishes to both you and your graduate. This is a time of celebration and ceremony when students participate in class day, the prom, and of course graduation itself. It is an emotional time. Spontaneity and exuberance often mark these events. We are taking this opportunity to communicate to you the school committee policy for senior activities. Quote, by virtue of their age and experience, seniors should set the tone for proper behavior for the remainder of the high school student body. Illegal, intemperate, and unacceptable behavior by students involving school facilities, school staff, and school activities cannot be condoned. Penalties for such behavior may preclude a student from participation in other school activities, such as the prom, as well as events of graduation week, such as class night and commencement exercises. Illegal activities involving any aspect of the school may also result in penalties imposed by agencies outside the school system. Any student or parent who feels he or she has been wrongfully accused must appeal the decision through the normal hierarchy: principal, superintendent, and finally school committee. Unquote. Attendance at school is mandatory and therefore expected. We would appreciate your encouragement and influence to help us promote and maintain a safe and happy period during these activities for all of our children. Sincerely, Easton School Committee and Superintendent of Schools. Questions, comments?
Do you remember some of the wording in the old? What was it about the
Yeah, it's gotten a little
parade
bit,
things
yeah.
and all these
Yeah,
other stuff?
no parades. Yeah, I can't remember what else. This is fine.
Although I would say probably in the near future we'll be changing some of the he, she stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
today,
Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the letter?
so moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Okay, next item on the agenda, fiscal year 20 budget. Dr. Cabral, do we have anything new?
We do have a little bit of information.
Okay.
I wish it were positive information. Unfortunately, it's not. We of course were aware, and I informed you prior, that there still is a deficit on the town level in the budget, and it has not yet been closed. We're working on that. We had a meeting, Marilyn and I had a meeting at the town offices yesterday. We are trying to get as close as possible, and so toward that end, we are withdrawing the recommendations for the positions that we feel very strongly we need this year, for next year. Those include the reading specialists, the English language teacher, and the adjustment counselor. So some of those were multiple positions, so those come out to $170,000 total. That means we are officially in a full regressive budget. We're not doing anything to be reactive at this time. We are simply cutting. So I also wish I could say that was the end of it, but there still is a gap. However, we're waiting on some certain information to still come into the town to see what or how much would still need to be cut.
So I'm sorry. It's the reading specialist, the ELL. and-
Reading
English teacher at the high school.
reading interventionist at the high school.
No.
Yeah, reading and not an English teacher.
No,
reading
We already
intervention.
had that position.
It
No, that
was,
was
That was
changed to
it was a reading specialist teacher, but we had to we originally cut it down to a part-time reading interventionist
Right.
instead. Now we're eliminating the interventionist also.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And we had already eliminated an English position at the high school.
Yeah.
That was the first.
We
one.
did that
Right.
also, yes.
Misread her.
So reading specialist at the reading interventionist, which it was cut to, is being cut
At high school.
at the high school. The reading interventionist at the K-2 schools, so there were 3 of those.
Okay.
The adjustment counselor
That was what I missed.
for the therapeutic program at EMS and RO. They share one now, so we're trying to get a full-time person in each school.
And then,
And the English language teacher, which we put in for a 1.0, we cut it to a 0.5, and now it is deleted. Yeah.
But these were proposed positions, but
Mhm.
okay.
Yep. So in addition, we haven't changed any of the cuts that were already made. Those are all still cuts. These are additional cuts to our 3.08 proposed budget.
right. In other words, these were the additions that we were hoping to be able to accommodate via the cuts we made, because these were seen as real priorities.
Right, and that's
for
why
the
we were
district.
sort of in a border, reactive,
Right.
regressive budget, because we were reacting to some things. Now it's just a purely regressive budget.
Okay.
And meeting with them again next week, where we hope to have a little bit more information. If there are additional cuts, we will immediately figure out what those are going to be. Notify you and the staff as soon as possible.
And I'm sorry, because I haven't been staying caught up. Where's the state in terms of things like circuit breaker? Has there been any? No, it's still kind of out there.
Well, excuse me, I actually just wrote an email to the state right before coming down up here. We just received the Chapter 70 update yesterday, and I'm having a little trouble understanding it because the Mass Association of School Superintendents does a great job of putting together a summary and estimating what each town will get as a result. We are seeing right now a possible increase of $70,000 over last year, which is
Yeah.
regressive, actually, because it doesn't keep up with our costs for this year. So, however, the reason I'm having a little trouble understanding it is because we are looking at some of our like districts that are much smaller than us, some of the very wealthy districts in the state, and they're all receiving more than us. So I reached out to the author of the document to see if we can meet as soon as possible so that you can help us a little bit better understand the formula. We actually have met with this person before. He was extremely helpful to us in understanding the foundation budget as it applies to Easton specifically, but I didn't really analyze the other towns because we're focused on Easton. But now I'm trying to, because it's kind of hard to advocate or problem solve when you're not entirely sure of what are the variables that are causing this for Easton in the first place. So we have an idea of some of them, but how does it make us different from other cities and towns? I don't know. So we're looking for another meeting to try to get to the bottom of that so that we can try to problem solve or advocate or do whatever we're going to do, because this just is not.
Well, you may not be the only one who's confused, because we sat with Claire Cronin the other night, and she said that every district is going to be pleased with the increase. And she is in our district, so she must have thought Easton also was going to get a bump compared
Well,
to the previous.
We got a bump, so perhaps.
But that wasn't that
70 to
always in there, the
70K.
70,000?
We get minimum aid.
Right.
Easton gets minimum aid, which
Right.
means we get $20 per student. They increased it to $30 per student. That's the only increase we got.
Right. So I'm sure perhaps from Claire's perspective, that bump was still a bump.
Yeah, I suppose, but
But there are
I-
districts
could this
getting
be-
$1 million. There are districts getting $10 million. There are
Could
districts
districts
getting
could this be I'm sorry, the
Abington, for
market, the
example,
labor
getting
market
over $1
stuff?
million.
Could this be the
East
Abington?
West and East Bridgewater.
So are Abington,
Southeastern Vocational.
are they in the same labor
640,000.
market area as we are?
Additional,
Yes.
we got 70. Sorry.
I'm We're looking into it.
Hang on, 900,000, or 198,000, I'm sorry. Sorry,
But
sorry,
still,
I was still- 198,000.
Very well.
Wellesley,
Wellesley.
yeah, Weston.
More than 70,000.
Maybe that's because of the wage adjustment factor?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So could be the labor
I
market.
mean,
See,
stuff.
that's what
I'm
you're
not sure.
going to
That's
try and
what we're-
understand.
Because that is truly an unfair.
Unless they have
tax
increases
rate.
in enrollment.
Now, that's true. That's true.
There are
That
much
would do it.
smaller districts that probably aren't in the Boston labor market, like Swansea and Somerset and Rochester. So that's what we're trying to figure
I
out.
mean, if they're not, if they're in the Boston labor market area, I think that's grounds for lawsuit. It's so random, so completely discriminatory. Seriously, think about it. It makes no sense.
Well, that's the problem. We really can't problem solve until we know what everything is, and so that's what we're trying to figure out. So we're in a,
So the 70,000.
we're in a bad way. We're in a regressive, very difficult budget
So-
for next year.
so
And I see the budget the following year being worse.
Worse. The 170K that we've added to the cuts today, brings us down to what, 3 point, do we know?
We're in the two.
We're in the twos now.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We may even be,
Well, 300,000 would be 1%, so 170 is.
Half a percent.
0.5%, so we're now in the twos.
so we're below the original
Are we,
benchmark
that's
of
my question. Are we
2.75.
below
Yeah.
the 2.75? We are now below 2.75. And at this point, the understanding is still that may not be
The end of it.
the end of it, because we don't know where the overall deficit.
There's still, it's not a balanced budget yet.
Right. And so will some of that be waiting on additional state information? I mean, what?
Additional state information, cherry sheet,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yep, which we hope to have in the next week or so.
I just want to point out that that projected number is from the governor's budget.
Right.
The
And
House
House
is
was,
Yeah, it just
it's
came out.
a little bit higher, very small percentage for Easton, but for those other communities, much larger percentages.
And the House was the one that was just recently released, was it? I can't remember.
I think that's the one Claire was talking about.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
That was-
well,
that was
no,
the budget.
it wasn't different for us.
So, well, you're saying it was just,
So-
when you said it was the House, you said it was the governor's budget, this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So even if everything is a teeny bit higher, it would make it $5 more.
Well, the House is on it as well. I could tell you that number, I just don't have it on.
Yeah,
It wasn't much more.
It's not much more, there's
No,
both
it's not much
proposals.
more. Both proposals are on this document, it wasn't much more.
The House's is an increase for everyone, but Easton's is a very small percentage compared to the other communities.
I'd say, well, you said that when you say that you've emailed the state.
No, the
That's
author.
impressive. Oh,
Yeah.
no, first, earlier though, you said you
Yeah.
emailed the state.
Yes.
But have you gotten in touch with, say, Claire, or, our own
Well,
legislators?
not yet, because like I said, it's difficult to know what to
Yeah,
advocate
you
for,
need to
because
know
I'm
what-
not sure exactly what the problem is. I'm sure they're
Right, the
gonna
author
want to
needs to
know.
explain it first,
Yeah.
that's true. Because there may be a specific, like Marilyn said, it could be a specific reason.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point, there was talk years ago of rewarding, it's one of those sort of backwards thinking ideas that people come up with occasionally, but rewarding towns that gave a larger percentage of the town budget to the district or to the school system. And
That is a,
we
that is a
do
plus,
give more
yeah.
than the minimum in
Right.
this town, but we give
Right.
less of more than the minimum than most other
Yes,
districts.
no, that's
most
true.
other towns.
That's a possibility. Wage adjustment factor is a possibility. There are definite enrollment, all of the above. I just need to find out exactly what it is for us.
Yeah. It was the House Ways and Means that released, I
Yep.
think, on Wednesday.
Yep, we have that
Yeah.
as well. I forwarded that to Jackie, so she can forward that to me.
Okay.
The good news just keeps on coming.
Okay, so keep us updated when you hear more from the town.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Anything else on budget? Okay. Public comment? Superintendent notes,
No,
assistant superintendent
you want to let
notes.
Chrissy?
Of course. MCAS continues on. The week after April break, we'll complete ELA for grades 3 through 8. We have, knock on wood, not had a glitch in the testing since our high school episode. I also wanted to alert you, I'm not sure if you read about it or saw it on the news, that there is an essay question that has been omitted from the grade 10 ELA MCAS. It was,
It is a little bit,
Yeah.
even I found it a little shocking. And
Yes.
I could see doing that in a debate class or something, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
But that was kind of amazing.
yeah. I'm actually I'm surprised that it got as far as it did, but I'm also very pleased with how Desi handled it. I think that it was a great job. They did a great job. The commissioner did a wonderful job recognizing that it was an issue and taking it out immediately.
I just think it would be too disturbing for students to be put in that position, to say you have to take a position that is so abhorrent. Maybe at college level, I mean, you do need to learn to be able to sort of understand the polar opposite of your view.
Right.
But, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that.
I know. I also just wanted to let you know that we did go on 2 site visits for our science elementary program. Whitman and Abington both hosted us. Whitman uses the No Atom program, which is one of our finalists, as well, and Abington uses the National Geographic program. We just thank their communities. They really, it was wonderful for our teachers to speak to other teachers that use the programs, see the materials, see just listen to how they organize the materials and how they organize their day and their science lessons. I think we have 2 great programs to choose from.
What was
So
the
I'm very-
Whitman one again? I'm sorry.
No Atom, so it's KNOWATOM. And that is a Massachusetts-based company.
Okay.
So it's great. Also, just let you know, senior projects were this past week, and I was able to judge them. What a remarkable job Craig Goldberg does with them and the students. I just really want to commend them for that. I was a judge of 2 projects, Cam and Olivia. Yeah, through Liv's Lens was hers, and it was such a wonderful opportunity. I had such a great part of the year to see that happen. I also attended a workshop from DESE, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, on the new social studies frameworks. And this is really important that we keep this on our radar as the frameworks have changed. They are expecting implementation ASAP. Grade 8, the grade 8 needs to implement a civics course. And we will be changing the high school programming as well. We have it mapped out so that you can see that change, and I'll have Matt Auger come and present that to you in a more formal way. But what's also important is that they are piloting a grade 8 MCAS for social studies, for civics, and they're looking to pilot it spring 2020. So this is another area that we're going to need to focus on to make sure that we have materials to support our teachers with the change. There's also a huge literacy component. So there are 3 pillars of the standards, and one of the pillars is actually the ELA frameworks. So they are totally integrating the 2, which is great especially for our elementary teachers.
When you say the piloting, you mean just in general or in Easton?
So they haven't determined that completely.
Okay, you just. Okay.
Right, when they say pilot, they say every district, maybe just a small group of students, or maybe just a few districts. They haven't made the
I only
determination.
asked because you said piloting and our teachers need to be on board, whatever, so it almost
Right.
implied that they need to.
Well, except if they pilot in 2020, they may be ready
Well,
for
they
rollout.
still need to. Right.
2021, right,
Yeah.
right. So our Matt Auger and Gary Erickson, thank you, are doing a phenomenal job really guiding the work with the teachers. And they're also looking at the K-5 trajectory as well. And we'll be working with the elementary principals on that. And Lions recognition was the other night, great event. It was so nice to celebrate 4 of our own, Janice Narsazian, Elizabeth Starr, Olivia Pierce, and of course Caroline. It was, I could have listened to their speeches all night long. It was wonderful, a wonderful event, and just a nice way to celebrate our staff.
Olivia, totally. She, when she got up and said, "I haven't really prepared a speech," and then she said,
She just has such great presence.
Yes, she said, as you said, she has the maturity of,
Yeah.
that was
seasoned and
really impressive.
Yeah.
Well, she did have, I actually had warned her because I said, and so you'll say a few words, right? And she said, I have to say something. I mean, she actually thought she didn't have to do anything except accept the award. So at least she had a little bit of it. I said, really just thank people.
Yeah.
Well, she did more than that.
Oh, yeah, she
Yes.
definitely
Yeah.
did, but at least she had a little bit.
Yeah.
She had such a look of consternation on her
Yeah.
face. But usually the students don't, they really pretty much do just say thank you. So she
Yeah.
went above and beyond for sure.
Yeah.
And Jackie did a wonderful time,
Yes.
wonderful
Yes,
job
she did. I'm
presenting.
very grateful
good.
to that
Very nice.
extremely hyperbolic speech. Thank you.
And last, I just want to thank you, Jane, again, for everything, as this is your last meeting. It's been an honor as the assistant superintendent to sit next to you, and for all that you've done, just thank you so much for your guidance and mentorship.
I'm going to be your public comment from now on.
Great, I love it.
It's all a plot to push you off the committee so we finally have a public, an audience.
Well, it's been, and as I've said, it's been a great learning experience, and I'm so fortunate that everybody who's always sat at this table has been so smart, and I've learned a lot, and that's
As we have from you.
what I'm thankful.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
School committee notes?
I actually remembered just now what I was going to email you or in the middle of the night last night. So it's probably too late for this, but I noticed this yesterday on MASC after I got home from our meeting, that MASC is having a contest where first graders are invited to enter the 13th annual MSBA My Ideal School Contest.
That's so cute.
Except I just found out about this last night.
No, I forwarded that to
Yeah.
the principals when it first came
Oh,
out.
good.
Yeah. I
Because
don't
I
know
thought-
that any of them are doing it. We made it optional for teachers, but I did send it.
Okay, because I thought, oh my God, it'd be
Perfect.
for the
Yeah,
school to
fun,
kind of
right?
start
Yeah.
drumming up
Yeah.
for the schools.
Yep,
So.
and I told them even if they
Thank
didn't
you.
do the contest, I just thought it was a great idea with
Yeah.
a new building project.
Yeah,
It'd be a
that's
fun thing.
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I saw it last.
Anybody with first graders?
Do I? No, but no, of course I don't anymore. Way
No, I was
past
just
knowing
thinking
first
we could-
graders.
Give them a heads up. I think this would be great.
That's what I thought. It would be a way to kind of maybe
Be fun,
start
sure.
to
Yeah,
promote
no, yeah.
the buzz. My ideal school, and oh look, we're building a school.
Right, yeah.
Particularly now that last evening the school planning committee did make a decision. We are going to move forward with a district-wide pre-K through 2 school on the Parkview site, and the goal is to, or the decision is to build a new, as opposed to renovate and expand the current building. So that was reached last night by the school planning committee, which puts us in a position to now submit our schematic design, no, our preliminary design report, PDR, I think it is, at this point to the Massachusetts School Building Authority for a May deadline. So that was a good meeting last night. Yeah. Yep. Still a lot to be worked out. I keep reminding people when they look at that site drawings or plans around traffic that these are all still just concepts. That once we get through our May and move through the summer, that's when really detailed schematic designs will begin and decisions will really start to happen.
And of course, the community will have hard numbers
Yeah.
and hard designs
Yeah.
before any vote is presented to them.
Very tight schedule though.
It is.
I feel like it's tighter than it was for the last 2 projects. Is that my imagination?
Yes, I do think that it was. I think a lot, and again, I wasn't
The
on.
timelines have changed
Right,
too.
exactly.
That's what I mean in that sense, yeah. I mean, I know that it's dictated by the MSBA.
Right.
I'm just saying, I
But
feel
even-
like we had more time.
We did, I think,
Between
and
the
even in
decision
terms of the
and
reporting steps, I think that it's just so much more structured now than it was
Yeah.
when we went through the school planning process last time with the middle school, high school project. So,
And it is much more challenging because the percentage reimbursement, although, very impressive, is certainly far less than it was for the earlier projects, but that's statewide because MSBA just couldn't afford to keep subsidizing at the level they were. So, but it definitely makes it harder for us
Yeah.
to
Yep.
convince people that it's a really, really good idea.
It is. Okay, that was all I had.
Anything else?
Well, I want to say something also about how sad I am. Although I'll be able to look out now and see Jane's face, whereas before I had to just look all the way to the side.
now.
So now I'm
I know.
starting.
It's like, I'm not coming to your meetings anymore.
But it really has been unbelievably great working with you. I know Jackie would agree with me. Because you just, you have such a great kind of thoughtful take on everything. I mean, even times when I'm going a little bit off the rails, you kind of pull me in and you point out, the fallacies of my particular way of thinking. And, no, but it's...
In a very kind way.
Always
Yeah,
kind,
always, yeah.
always diplomatic. It's, I really have valued that, and will continue to, because I know you are a person that is as good as your word. You're not going to come to meetings and, just ghost us, so.
Well, the project is not going anywhere, so.
Well,
I mean,
that's true,
The
too.
project is going somewhere.
Yes,
Right, Jane will
committed to
continue
that.
to work on that.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, all you've done for so many years for the community is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I know, I can't even imagine not having you here.
It just, as well as anybody that it's always a good group of people. It always has been.
Yeah, but there are people that really, have that little
I know.
extra value about them. Yeah, you are one of them. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, anything else? Then make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay.